Okay, so we are going into the office today, and I'm going to take you with me. And what we're going to do is we're going to create a game plan to re-enter the kids' parties market. Now, around 8 years ago, when I set Spartacus up, I actually began with kids' parties. I got a loan off the trust, the Prince's Trust, to set the company up. But after I'd bought all the equipment, I barely had anything left in the bank. So the marketing budget was pretty much non-existent. So what I had to do was I had to focus on what I could control, and that was the service and the experience on the pitch. So any parties that come, I did get. That's exactly where my focus was. So loads of energy, loads of enthusiasm, going above and beyond, making sure the kids and the parents all had a great time. And that was my marketing plan. And the idea and the hope, I suppose, behind that was they would go away and tell everyone. It would generate business. They would go and, tell people how great it was. Maybe their mates would book, or maybe some of the spectators, the parents that were there on the day would inquire. And that's kind of exactly what happened. It really did work. Initially, when I started out, pretty much like almost all of my bookings were from word of mouth. My phone would just go. It would just be like, oh, it's so-and-so. Amanda had a party last week for her little boy. She said it was great. I'd like to book one for my boy. And that's how it would go. I didn't know how genius, well, I'm not calling myself a genius, by the way. I don't know how genius that system was until I've had the experience that I've had over the years, and loads of elaborate and loads of overcomplicated marketing, when really just doing a great job, stripping it right back, doing a great job, and people telling people about it is probably the best one I've ever come up with, and I didn't do it on purpose. So the reason I'm doing this as well, the reason we're re-entering, because I've been here before. These kids' parties were going great years and years ago, right? I just started out. I didn't have the experience, the knowledge, or the skill at the time to build a team. I had help of people. One of them, my cousin, used to drag him out of bed every Saturday. But it weren't a proper trained team, and not one that I could be confident to kind of deliver the same service that I would deliver. So I had a bit of a decision to make, because as we got bigger and our reputation got bigger off the parties, the kids' parties, we got even more traffic to the website. We got even more reviews. We were based in Liverpool. It's a huge city for tourism and hen and stags. Any hen and stags come to the city, they wanted to use the best, and they would come to us. So our hen and stag bookings off the back of all these kids shot right up, and they started to take a significant amount of time away from the kids' party. I couldn't do both of them. I didn't have the capacity at the time. So I had a really difficult decision to make. Anyone who works with kids and kids' parties will vouch for me here, by the way. They are very, very challenging. The hard work. They're very rewarding, don't get me wrong. But they're very hard work. So I'm spending 20 times more energy doing a kids' party as opposed to a stag. 20 times more admin, because you're going back and forth with the parents. They want everything to be perfect. They put so much pressure on themselves because they want it to go great, which means you're having to kind of spend a lot of time being a bit of a counsellor in a way. Maybe that's a little bit dramatic, but you've got to kind of you've got to kind of reassure them and calm them down a lot. Not everyone, don't get me wrong, not everyone, but you do get the occasional one, because they put so much pressure on themselves. They want it to be great for their kid, for their kids' mates, and of course there's parents on the line, remember. So they don't want to end up with egg on the face if the party falls flat and they choose the wrong provider. So I 100% get it, 100% understand it. The point I'm making is it's a very challenging market to serve. Okay, the Stags was the exact opposite. I love working with tourism as well. That's one of my passions. So I had to make a decision, and I went with the Stags. I niched down and become a specialist in that area, and I've been doing that for almost a decade now. So it paid off. It paid off. However, since taking this back over and learning from all the mistakes and the successes and the failures, I've been through a lot of pain in business. Let's put it that way. And coming back and assessing this business with a fresh pair of eyes and not rose-tinted glasses like I used to. There's a lot of vulnerability there, and I've burnt all my bridges behind me now. I've severed all ties to other businesses. I've focused on this. I want to take this to be the biggest bubble soccer brand in the world. I want to take it nationwide. It's not all about money for me. It's about achieving something really, really big, starting from almost like zero with 10 bubble suits in Liverpool, and then creating something that's known all over the world and operates in all of the major cities in the UK and Ireland and Europe and beyond. That's what gets me excited, and that I believe this is the vehicle to do it. However, the model isn't great. There's a lot of vulnerability. There's a ton of it that I haven't seen previously. And that's why we need to enter these. That's why we need to diversify. If we don't diversify, it could signal the end for us. Now, these two challenges that I have, which I'm going to tell you about now, they're keeping me up at night. I'm not even lying. Like 2 or 3 days ago, I woke up at like 3 a.m. and I was just working on my phone till about 5 o'clock because it's just spinning around in my head non-stop. And I've learned over time, if something's challenging you and popping up and torturing you, you've got to do something about it. It's maybe someone's telling you to do something. So that's where I'm at. I'm like, what do I do? And I'll tell you the vulnerabilities of this business. So number one, we're too dependent on the hen and stags. Okay, so if that market dips slightly, so does our company, and so does our revenue, and so do all our plans that we've all our exciting plans. Some of them they need to be scaled down. Or what if that market has a significant shift? You know, there's a new thing, there's a new way of doing hen and stags. We're already seeing that with a lot of the new generation coming through not drinking. So although we don't see anything major disrupting it, it's still a risk, and that, you know, it's not good. Although that isn't keeping me up at night, that one, I can live with that one. It's the second one. So number two. So number two is repeat business and word of mouth. There is none. There is none at all. How could there be? Let me give you a really quick example. John from Ireland, he lives in Dublin. He's coming to Liverpool on a stag party, yeah? There's 20 of them. They come to Liverpool. Liverpool, amazing for stags, hens. It's just settled for it. Group accommodation, loads of it. Loads of really great nightlife. Loads of things to do. The people, really, really friendly. I know it's a cliche, but honestly, genuinely, it's true. So he has a great time. He chooses bubble soccer and he goes with the number one company in the area, Spartacus, okay? He has a great time. The activity couldn't have been any more perfect. He's brought some of his friends with him, obviously, and he's brought some of his family, and they don't really know each other. So this activity has brought them all together. It's broken the ice. It gives so many talking points and fun things to talk about in the pub after what's just happened on the pitch. So he's so hyped up. He's excited. It's been amazing. He goes back to Dublin and he starts telling everyone about it. Spartacus this, Liverpool that. He's telling people in Dublin, and we don't cover Dublin. Can you see what the problem is now? So we don't cover Dublin. So all that word of mouth is gone. The repeat business is gone as well, because what's the chances Of course, there's going to be people in that group who are going to get married also, but they're not going to want a carbon copy stag of what John's just had. They're not going to choose the same city and the same exact experience. They want to create their own story, their own stag legacy, if you like. So the likelihood of them coming back, any of them on a stag in their particular friend group, it's very, very slim. It's happened before, and it was from Ireland also, but it's slim. It's nothing you can bank on. Fast forward to 3 years, 4 years tops, Spartacus is covering nationwide. This is a scenario that could happen in the future. We cover all the major cities, UK and Ireland. John goes back to Dublin. He tells everyone we have a base in Ireland. Then people he tells start looking us up. They follow us, they become leads, they become bookings. At the very least, they become followers and leads. Okay? All of this 20 group also. So there's the word of mouth. We're going to get word of mouth. That's 100%. We also get repeat business, because out of all of them 20, some of them are going to have children who want parties. They've come to Spartacus. They've had a great time. They can rely on this brand. They know how good it is. They know they're guaranteed a good time. It's a familiar brand that they trust. They can trust and rely on us. They're going to potentially, they'll reach out for us to host their kids' party. Okay, so there's one angle. Corporate, they could have a company, they could work for a company. That could lead to a team building. Again, they're all talking to people word of mouth. They might not need these services, but they may need someone. They may know someone who does need them, and they will recommend us because they've had a great experience. That is how we do it, and that's what's keeping me in the game. That's the only thing keeping me in the game, because running a local company just out of one city, we cover 5 now, but one city, it's not big enough. It's not big enough. You could have a nice lifestyle business, but I want to do something really exciting. I want to do something that has never been done before. There's nationwide companies, but they subcontract all the work out. They're not delivering the sessions themselves. You know what I mean? And the quality is not there. It's not professional. I want to bring this industry right up here. That's what's keeping me in the game. If I just stick to stags and move around, I cannot make a nationwide company. Genuinely, I can't. I can't have a company with no repeat business. That model is extremely vulnerable. There's red flags going off all over, especially in the middle of the night, waking up in the middle of the night thinking about it. So this is how we solve it. This is how we solve it. This is how we get the repeat business. Now, that's in the future, isn't it? But what can we do right now to lay the foundations for this long-term success and repeat business and word of mouth? Well, it's kids' parties. It's right in front of us. We re-enter that space. We start to build a local reputation like I did all them years ago in Liverpool. Go and look at our Facebook page. When I was doing the kids' parties, our parties were pretty good. The feedback was really, really good. And I've learned a lot since then. So they're going to be great this time. They're going to be talked about all over the country on every single playground. That's how good they're going to be. And that's how we iron out these kinks in our armour, because that we have a huge vulnerability in this business model as it currently stands. It's not sustainable. It's not going to be it. It's not possible to take this nationwide in the way it currently is. It needs changing. We need to add another market. So we're going to add kids next. We have other markets we'd like to explore, but let's just get that sorted first. Let's start getting loved by the communities that we operate in. Let's start serving them communities. Let's be known in them communities for putting on great kids' parties, great experiences, great work with communities, great work with charities. All these type of things that we can do will generate word of mouth and generate repeat business and bring our reputation even higher. Because another frustrating thing for me, right? I put so much effort into these events, and my team do as well. And I've built an SOP manual, a playbook for the coaches, training programs, feedback loop to continually keep them on track and keep them consistent and build them as coaches as well. And just no one knows about us. It's just so frustrating. It really is. And you've got these nationwide companies, these big boys, the big boys who are just subcontracting the work, and they couldn't give a shit about the experience, and it really annoys me. And we're doing everything what we can and going above and beyond. Just go and look at our Google page if you want. We're going above and beyond, and we're not recognise all his work on the pitch is not getting rewarded, when no one knows who we are. It's really frustrating. So sometimes the best at what they do are not aren't the most successful or the biggest. You know, that's the truth. So I need to get us known. I need to get out. That we need people to know about what we do. So that's what we're doing today. I'm going into the office now. I'm working with Grace, who's come on board to help me with the social media and content side in terms of supporting me, driving this forward. And I'm going to take you along with me, so you're going to be part of the plan, and also get involved in the comments as well. Like put what do you think of the ideas? You might think they're shit. You might think they're good. You might have your own ideas. Put them in the comments, and then an idea I'm going to discuss with Grace today is like, what can we do? Like, can we do a weekly social media show where we talk about the comments, where we interact with people who are viewing it and who are leaving comments and interacting with us, to make it a two-way conversation, not just me talking. It'd be better for me. I'd love that. I'd assume it'd be better for the person who's viewing it, because it feels like they're being heard also. So yeah, put them in the comments. So today we're going to plan it. We're going to go from really good back in the day. I'm going to dust the cobwebs off, and we're going to make really great party. Every last detail. The content is a big part of this as well. That is a big part of being known. That is what frustration of mine. I want people to know about us so much. I want us to be recognised for what we're doing, and I don't want people to get ripped off by these other companies as well. Choose who you like. Go and do one with them, and do one with us, and see and tell me who you prefer. That's what I would say. Anyway, so it's going to be exciting. And we're going to need to iron out these little final details. And we're going to really fucking hit the ground running with this. So I'm going to make my way to the office. I expect to see you there also. Don't be disappearing on me, and don't be late.
Yep.
Right, so this is our new office. So yeah, we've had this around a couple of weeks now. I've been working from home initially, but I'm getting a little bit stale crazy sitting in that house. So I'll get a little space to work from. Obviously we've got Grace holding the camera there, who's going to be coming in, so it gives a space for us to kind of plan as well. And work around, and it's actually by the beach as well. So hopefully we'll get a decent summer this year, and on our breaks we'll be able to have a little walk, a bit of fresh air. So yeah, here we go.
In all its glory.
Got to start somewhere, haven't you? Do you know what? It's alright.
It's
nice.
Nice.
A decent size for what we need right now. We've got interconnecting doors, which is a bit like a hotel. It's a bit strange, but this one's a bit bigger. So once we start getting going this year, we can always expand into the next door there. We're going to be using this whiteboard. We're going to start with some brainstorming. See Grace in the background over there, and yeah, we're gonna go through the content side of things, how we're gonna promote it. We're gonna go through the kids' experience as well, but it's gonna start with a brainstorm. We're gonna get things moving a little bit, get our brains in gear. Number one, mic'd up parties. This is one that both myself and Grace come here today with, and this is one we're really excited with, but we're having a lot of issues here. So we're going over the pros and cons of each of the ideas for the content, yeah? So this is kind of what we do during the game. Now, we don't want to add anything in terms of content, so we don't want to disrupt the party. That's completely off the cards. The party is the party, the experience remains the same. What can we do within the experience that isn't going to disrupt it, that we can turn into content? So this is where we come up with this. The problem we're having here though is the kids getting mic'd up, so we're going to need permissions for that. There could be potential damage. If it's inside the bubble, it could damage the equipment, it could damage the children's clothing, it could cause injury perhaps. It may even muffle up the audio as well. The audio may stop working, and what if that kid, what if it's a nervous child, so a child that isn't very confident? They may not want to do it, but also the content that the child or the kid's producers may not really be as interesting, okay? Time consuming, what was that part?
About going through and trying to find the best bits.
Yeah, this one is the biggest one for me. So if we've got a full hour or 90-minute session with a party and it's just following the same kid around for that time, we're going to have to watch the whole of the footage back. That's extremely time consuming. We could have multiple parties throughout the day. That's a real problem. So this may not happen. This the way it is now, unless we can make it work, as it stands, it's not happening. We've got a few little pros in there. So, it's going to be... I think some of the little snippets that we got are going to be really, really funny, because I've run parties before. I know exactly what kids are like. The things they say is it's just unmatched. It's just hilarious. They're very spontaneous, very unpredictable. So there's pros there, but if we don't want to disrupt the experience and we don't want to make anyone feel uncomfortable. So as it stands, this is not happening. We're going to get our heads on. We're going to try and figure out a way we can make this work. Right, we figured it out. Haven't we, Grace?
We have.
So we still have the 3 up. Let me just spin that around. So we have the 3 up there, yeah. Ant and Deck is little Ant and Deck.
Kids presenter.
It's a kids presenter, isn't it? We had them street interviews, but on match day. So obviously, people who book bubble footballs, it's a fair assumption that you like football. So the street interviews could be held on a match day, and from a totally fresh perspective. So a child interviewing a child, rather than adult going over to an adult fan, we find out kind of what a fan reaction from a child's perspective. Very never been done before. So we've got that one, and you could basically fronting it.
We had interviews with the coaches. So
Interviews with the coaches as well. So basically, let's get you in there. Where are you? There you are. Yeah. So we have to do it like this because we haven't kind of figured out the mechanics of this thing yet. The gimbal is very tricky, isn't it? So interviewing the coaches. So what type of content do people usually do when they find out about the team on social media? So is it usually like Q&A with the team member, isn't it?
Yeah, you do like Q&A.
Yeah, Q&A. So we're thinking of doing that.
A professional one of like real serious questions about the job and what they like, and then you can also have like the kid doing silly ones like favourite colour. If you lived on a planet, what planet would it be?
Yeah.
Stupid little questions that'll get to show the actual personality of our coaches.
Exactly. That's a very good point, that actually. So usually when you see the Q&As of companies online and they're trying to bring out the personality, it's quite hard, isn't it? It's not really as engaging as it could be.
No, it's not very natural.
It doesn't, because some people are really stiff in front of the camera.
Exactly.
And it's understandable. But if you're chatting to a child and they're asking really strange questions and they're really engaging, I think it'll bring out, like Grace has just said there, it'll bring out the team's personality. So that's another way we could use the child presenter. And we had loads, to be fair. We've got loads, we've got a whole list of it. So we're gonna go, that's been given the green light also. I wanted to leave here with 1, maybe 2, and we've got 3, so it's not too far off, is it?
No.
And we're going to create a timeline now as well, so we're not going all in on every single idea right away. We're going to go in with the one we can comfortably do during a game, so we're not adding any more work or responsibilities to people, and then we're going to what's the word? We're going to schedule in the other bits, aren't we?
Plan ahead.
Yeah, so plan ahead. And the winner is mic'd up. Now, we spent a little bit of time explaining before the problems that we had around this one. It didn't look doable for a period of time, but we managed to find a way to do it. I'm not going to reveal that just yet. You're gonna have to find that out by following our account. So I don't even know the handle for the account. I'll tell you what, I'll pop it up somewhere on the video. So make sure, and I'll put it in the description also. So make sure you follow our kids party account and you'll see exactly how we're going to do the mic'd up. So what we're going to do now, we're going to get this mic'd up thing sorted. We're going to go into like the logistics. So the next steps, how do we make that happen? What equipment do we need? Who's filming it? Who's editing it? Creating some processes around it. All the boring stuff basically that we're going to do, but needs to be done. It's very, very important. So I'll probably spare you the film of this one. I don't think it'll be very interesting. So we're going to get on with that and we'll check back in a moment. Right, so we have a mascot, right? So we haven't got a name for him yet. He's supposed to be a Zorb. I think. What do you think? Think it looks like a Zorb?
Looks close enough. I think we could pass it as one.
Yeah. I think people get the idea. So that's our mascot. We haven't named him yet, and we are going to name him. So what I did was I got a mascot design, so like one that someone can get in, and we can use it for like a promotional vehicle. And we've got some photos. Sent. It's on the way, and these are kind of from the factory. So this is it. What do you think?
Oh, I love him.
He's got has his shoes on the wrong way round there. So
it looks like
it does, doesn't it? So listen, it's, you know, we had a budget, and that kind of shows through here. But it's going to be funny. We're going to use it. We're not going to be rolling this out at parties because the kids are too old for that type of thing. This is going to be used to kind of promote.
This guy's definitely coming out for stag do's though.
It could come out for stag do's, yeah. We need to make a naughty mascot. I think it needs to be bad behaved one, a bit like. Have you ever seen them videos, Benny the Bull?
Yes.
The Chicago Bulls.
Yeah.
It needs to be a bit like that. It's a start. This is the first version. So it's gonna look better in the future. Here's another picture of him, and I've got a video here as well. There he is side on. And I've got a little video here as well. It looks a bit like an onion. Right, that's us done. All planned out, exciting times ahead. What are you most excited about, Grace?
Something the little Anton deck.
The Anton
little
deck.
Interviews, that'd be boss.
That's going to be really good.
Competition.
Yeah, that is going to be good. I think that's going to put us on the map, that one. Also, I'm in particular, I think the mic'd up ones, we managed to solve that.
I don't know how we managed to solve it. It took us way too long.
Yeah, it took us a long time, but we got there in the end. So we're going to actually trial it out. 25th, innit? So a week Saturday, and we're going to have content ready to go for the week after. Yeah. I can't even think of the dates. My head's scrambled. We've been using our brain. Too much brain power is being used today. So yeah, we're pretty much gonna be pumping it out straight away. Grace is on the job. Grace is gonna be taking over our kids' social media. There's the brains behind it all. So yeah, I'm excited to get going with this. Really am. That's us for the day though. We're gonna be checking out. So let us know what you thought of the ideas in the comments. Part of this is we want it to be interactive. You know, we've bounced some ideas around today, but we want to include anyone who's watching as well. So from my perspective, I would love to be able to hear what you think, and I'm assuming from the viewer's point of view, it gives you feel like you're heard also. So yeah, put it in the comments, and then we may even look to do a segment on social media where we discuss the comments. Now I will show you just how close we are to the beach as well. It's going to be ideal this when the weather picks up. It actually looks nice. It's actually nice now. It was Baltic this morning, but it's actually quite a nice day. So when it gets a little bit too intense in that office and getting burnt out and working non-stop and spending long hours in there, there's always this just literally 2 minutes down the road. I'll show you how close we are to the beach. Hopefully don't get run over. Getting a few funny looks already holding this camera. I still feel like a bit of a tit holding this, I'll be honest. It's got a lake. I don't think it's open for like water sports yet, but they actually have, when I say water sports, not like jet skis and that. Kayak. Them little sailboats. I think you might do open water swimming in that as well here. But it's brilliant, right on the doorstep. Perfect way to kind of just get out the office and get some fresh air and recharge the batteries. Just show you now. And the beach is beyond that. I'm saying it's beyond that when I'm pointing at me. So this little lake here, look at it. It's actually turned out to be a nice day. So over them sand dunes in the back there, let me see if I can. See, I don't even know how to zoom in. Maybe I can. No. How the fuck hell does you zoom in then? Yeah, there you go. Doesn't zoom in much, but you can see over the sand dunes there. I'm not going to walk over there now because I've got to be somewhere, but the beach is beyond that. Hopefully we'll get more than 2 days of summer this year and I can make full use of it.